and order online. We have filters set up for retailer, test type, and his company, findacovidtest.org. S&P futures unchanged. This is CBS News.
There's always something new under the sun. CBS Mornings, weekdays on CBS.
Great Lakes Bay Health Centers would like to remind you that building a defense against COVID-19 will take all of us. That's why we're proud to offer not only COVID testing, but also free COVID vaccines at multiple locations. Visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org for comprehensive information on locations and times near you. The only way this pandemic will end is with us. So let's all do our part to stay. Please remember to continue following safety measures to keep yourself, your family, and our community safe. Together, we can finally end COVID-19.
This is Matt Crowder live at the Shell station on 41st Street, reporting on the free gas app called Get Upside that's letting people all over the country earn cash back on every gallon of gas they buy. Excuse me, miss. Have you heard of the Get Upside gas app?
Of course. People are earning as much as $300 a year with the Get Upside app. It's so easy. Open the app to see nearby gas stations offering money back, pick the one you want, and get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Get Upside gas a gallon when you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder, Radio News Network.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to earn up to 25 cents a gallon cash back when you buy gas. Use promo code TODAY for a 50 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 75 cents a gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Get up to 75 cents a gallon cash back on your next fill up when you download the free Get Upside app and use promo code TODAY. Promo code TODAY.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
It's 6 degrees at 9:05. Good morning, I'm Dave Maurer. Bridget High School remains open after police determined that against the school yesterday was not credible. The threat was found on the social media site Snapchat by students and parents and was quickly reported to school officials, who in turn reported it to police. Police investigated the school grounds but found no threat. The investigation into who may have made the threat is ongoing. Some Bay City public school students will be starting class at an entirely different school next fall. Around 130 kindergarten through fifth grade students at Lindsay Elementary on the city's west side will be going a mile or two south to Kolb Elementary after final decisions were voted on by the school board. Superintendent Dr. Steve will be keeping the Lindsay building open as a daycare after daycare services at another nearby school were dropped.
It's one of those neighborhoods where we just don't have as many kids as we did, and it's an area that unfortunately is not growing. We are keeping it open as a daycare. In fact, when we closed Forest, we ended up moving many of the daycare services into Lindsay.
The district will be conducting a facility study to determine how efficiently it's using its remaining buildings ahead of talks about the potential closure of Bay City Eastern High School. The City of Bay City has announced available funding for the Small Business Relief Grant Program for 2020. The program focuses on assisting small businesses that have been negatively impacted and continue to be impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. $300,000 in American Rescue Plan Act funds are available to help businesses with less than 20 employees with COVID-related expenses. Businesses with 1 to 10 employees are eligible for up to $5,000, while businesses with 11 to 20 employees may receive up to $10,000. Applications are available on the city's website and in room 207 at City Hall on Washington Avenue. The deadline to apply is January 21st by 5 p.m. For questions, contact Sarah Kelly Thurston at Bay City's Economic Development Staff. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Now is the time to come into a Fast Eddie's Car Wash and Oil Change Center and get your vehicle in order. For over 40 years, Fast Eddie's has been a family-owned and operated business. We take pride in ourselves as being one of the only places around that can meet your vehicle's needs both inside and out with top-quality service and products at affordable prices. At our 16 Fast Eddie's locations, we focus on preventative maintenance for your vehicle. We offer such services as coolant flushes, transmission flushes, complete fuel system maintenance, and everything running at peak performance. Our trained technicians can perform these services while you're here getting your oil change. No waiting room, no long wait, and when your service is done, get your car washed at our newly updated facility where towel drying is back. Fast Eddie's Car Wash and Oil Change Center should be your one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs. With 16 locations throughout Michigan, there is one near you. Fast Eddie's, a name you can trust.
WSGW News Time now 9:08. State police have arrested a man in connection with a murder that took place in Saginaw 6 years ago. Troopers arrested a 25-year-old suspect on arraignment for the murder of 21-year-old Dakota Rico of Midland. Rico was discovered shot to death on September 2nd, 2015 in a pickup truck in the area of Douglas and Yeoman Streets. The suspect's name will be released after his arraignment. The son of former Michigan Attorney General Bill Schuette is running for state representative of the 95th District. Bill G. Schuette is a Midland native and a member of the NRA, Right to Life of Michigan, the Michigan Farm Bureau, and Midland Business Alliance. He went to Midland Public Schools, graduating from Dow High School. He earned his degrees with honors from Georgetown University's School of Foreign Service, then served as an intelligence officer for the Defense Intelligence Agency. Schuette says he will fight for freedom, families, and the future.
I'm ready to go to work. We need government to take less, spend less, and government mandates. We need to rock for our families in Lansing. I'll be that.
Schuette is currently running unopposed for the newly drawn 95th District seat. A judge will let a lawsuit against an engineering company connected to the Flint water crisis proceed. MNN's Jim Matthews reports.
4 families in Flint are suing Veolia North America, accusing it of not doing enough to stop the flow of lead-contaminated water in 2015. Federal Judge Judith Levy refused to dismiss the lawsuit, saying Veolia owed residents a legal duty of care when Flint hired it to analyze the city's water quality. Veolia argued that it included corrosion control in recommendations to the city, saying it had a short-term assignment that focused on problems created by a cancer-causing contaminant. The company did not take part in the recent $626 million settlement with Flint residents, mostly being paid for by the state. Jim Matthews, Michigan News Network.
Some children's ride to school within Clare Public Schools will be impacted by a driver shortage. Clare Public Schools has announced that the district will be going from 6 bus routes to 5 due to the ongoing shortage. Officials say routes will be a little longer and a little closer to capacity, but will still meet the needs of the students. Families were contacted by bus drivers if their route, pickup time, or drop-off time changed, and additionally, some changes to sports transportation schedules are also anticipated in the near future. The changes began yesterday. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 9:10. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. As we go through the next few days, we will see some warming temperatures due to a ridge of high pressure situated over much of the Midwest. However, as we go into Thursday, we will see chances for snow showers, and as we go into the weekend, more chances. This is due to a few Alberta clippers passing through the area, and we're expecting very minimal snowfall. Your forecast for today shows mostly sunny skies with a high of 24 degrees and wind chill values of 6 below. Tonight will be mostly cloudy with a low of 21 degrees, and temperatures will rise throughout the overnight up to around 31 degrees. I'm meteorologist Amanda Edwards with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently 8 above.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Art Lewis Show from my Saginaw Spirit home studio, brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, give Linda a call, 989-295-7713, or stop into the Point at M46 and M47 to visit. While you're there, look at Cafe 476 with their delicious soups, foods, and beverages, all waiting for you. Later on, we'll have open phones this morning, but we're going to start out finding out what's happening in that wonderful town called Frankenmuth. And with us this morning is the Frankenmuth city manager. We say good morning to Bridget Smith. Bridget, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
Hope you had a great holiday.
I did, thank you.
We were over in Frankenmuth, my wife and I, and another couple. It was his birthday, and he always goes to Zender's for his birthday. And fortunately, we had reservations. There were no lack of tourists in town. The restaurant was absolutely jammed to the ceiling. And it looked to me like everything was thriving in good old Frankenmuth. That's the impression?
It has been very busy. It's even kind of surprised us. We had, with the help of Schaefer and Beerline, they sponsored a public safety skate night. So it allowed police officers, firefighters to come out and skate at the rink for free. And we planned it on a Monday because we figured Monday would be low. And it was so busy that night. My husband and I couldn't even find a place to eat downtown. Everything was packed.
The city manager can't get into a restaurant. That's a problem. But it was, it was on the one hand refreshing to see that, life was sort of normal again. On the other hand, walking in the streets, and half the people had masks on, half didn't have, but you could still tell the concern was there. Wasn't totally back to normal yet.
No, and I don't think we are just yet. One of the things that we've noticed is downtown and the way in which we've handled like the Christmas experience and even Snowfest last year allows people to pick and choose their comfort level. So if they want to be, in a big crowd, there absolutely is space to do that. But we've also seen people picnicking in parks and using our walking trails and doing some things that allow them to like spread out.
You mentioned a magic word I was going to ask you about. What have you heard about Snowfest 2022?
It's on and ready to go. Actually, later this week, we have a meeting with Zender's key staff along with our public safety personnel to go over all their event plans. It's not unusual. We do it every year, but just to make sure we're all on the same page.
And they doing everything that they normally would do? Big warming tent, everything, as far as you know, everything is going to be back to what was the Snowfest pre-pandemic.
Correct.
That'll be interesting. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Too bad it's not these couple of weeks with the weather we're having because they'll be able to maintain their snow and ice. So how is the rest of Frankenmuth doing? Because, Frankenmuth is, I call it a hospitality community, not just a hospitality industry. And the hospitality industry was the one that got hit the heaviest with labor shortages. How is Frankenmuth doing filling whatever positions they have?
Well, it would clearly, we're all still struggling. And I think it both tourist related and non-tourist related. There are some restaurants in town that have reduced their hours, reduced their kitchen hours. And I think they're trying to find a delicate balance between over-promising and delivering good service.
I know I ran into one of the former restaurant owners, G from Da Vinci's, sold his restaurant recently, but the new owners are going to keep it going, I assume?
Yes.
That's good. Been there a long time. It's an institution in the market. Everybody thinks of Zender's and Bavarian Inn, but Frankenmuth's been blessed with a lot of good restaurants.
Yes. And just like the Bavarian Inn and Zender's, a lot of local ownership, which makes a huge difference.
Most of the town is that way, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, really, when you think of it, most of Frankenmuth is locally owned. Very few chain things, so to speak. You know, you may have the McDonald's and all of that, but everybody has those.
Well, but I would say even our McDonald's is owned by Tony and Jerry Deanna, who live here in Frankenmuth. Huge Toys for Tots supporters, the organizer, creator of AutoFest. So even our chain restaurants are not the typical chain restaurant.
And how is Frankenmuth city government doing in terms of employment and all of that?
We're actually recruiting right now for what's called the Green Space Manager. And we're struggling to get good applicants, in part because it's a different job. It's the person who manages the streetscape and all of what I think, everything that makes Frankenmuth special. So all the plantings downtown.
They got to water all those hanging baskets?
Well, not personally, but they're in charge of the people who water the baskets.
I often chuckled at that because I've been behind them a couple of times when they do it. And, I can't think of too many communities where they have somebody on staff who waters hanging baskets.
Yeah, my daughter actually worked part-time last summer on the flower crew. And the trick, she tells me, is you have to get in early before the street gets busy. Otherwise, it's very stressful.
I would think so. In Frankenmuth. So this green space manager job, if somebody's interested in that, what are you requiring for background and how do they apply?
So the posting is on the city website, frankenmuthcity.com. And we're looking for someone who has some landscape, horticultural experience, background, but also has some, I don't want to say management experience, but team leadership experience. They usually oversee a crew of 5 to 6 part-time employees who do the bulk of the labor. And we're also looking for someone who either has a pesticide applicator's license or is willing to get one.
And is this a full-time position?
Full-time position, good benefits, $50,000 to $60,000 a year.
Oh, wow.
And it helps that they like Christmas.
Yeah, it goes without saying in Frankenmuth, doesn't it? All right, hang on. I've got to take a break and we'll come back. We'll talk a little more with Bridget Smith. She is the Frankenmuth city manager here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW.
Biden's massively irresponsible spending plan has expanded America's money supply and taken money out of your pocket. But you can fight back and stand your ground against the tidal wave of inflation they're imposing on you. Did you know the wealthiest people in the world are protecting their retirement from runaway inflation by investing in gold? You can too. You can move your IRA or 401k out of paper assets and into gold with Birch Gold Group. To spread the word, Birch Gold has created a free info kit on gold IRAs. To get your copy, to 989898. Do it now and learn how to shelter your IRA or 401k with gold in a tax-sheltered account. Again, text the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all, so do it now.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
We're growing fast, and I stopped working weekends, thanks to how much smoother everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 27,000 businesses already use NetSuite. For the new year, NetSuite has a new financing program for those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/books. Head to netsuite.com/books for this special one-of-a-kind financing offer on the for growing businesses. netsuite.com/books.
I'm Lauren Simonetti, and this is the Fox Business Report.
American Airlines is boosting its forecast for the current quarter. Though it says business will be down about 17% from before the pandemic, it was originally seeing the decline at 20%. Grocery store company Albertsons is also raising its forecast after reporting a better than expected quarter. Planet Fitness is buying 114 locations from one of its franchisees, Sunshine Fitness Growth Holdings. After completing the transaction, Planet Fitness will own approximately locations. Adidas has made a major commitment to returning staff to offices. The athletic wear company has signed a lease for the California Market Center in downtown Los Angeles for its marketing, sales, and design teams. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Run, walk, honor. The Tunnel to Towers 5K Run and Walk in New York City retraces FDNY firefighter Steven Siller's final footsteps on 9/11. That single event has inspired more than 70 crimes in different cities across the nation each year. Register for an event in your area or volunteer to start one. Do good and never forget by donating $11 a month at T2T.org. That's T2T.org.
Struggling with CPAP? Now there's Inspire, the only FDA-approved obstructive sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body to treat the root cause of sleep apnea with just the click of a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Visit InspireSleep.com to learn more.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never met. How's the new job?
We're growing fast, and I stopped working weekends thanks to how much smoother everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 27,000 businesses already use NetSuite. It has a new financing program for those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/radar. Head to netsuite.com/radar for this special one-of-a-kind financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/radar.
In behind the goal, wraparound try by Stahl. Now a shot by Bertuzzi. He scores. Tyler Bertuzzi from the left circle makes it 2-1 Detroit.
The Red Wings play 10:15 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you, chatting with Bridget Smith, city manager of Frankenmuth. And Bridget, let's put on the Smith crystal ball, which never fails you. And what's 2022 going to look like in Frankenmuth?
Well, I think from a visitor perspective, I anticipate we're going to continue to see an uptick in people coming to town. I think people are anxious to get back to something close to normal, and like I mentioned earlier, we're seeing, especially when the weather's not quite as cold as today, people are getting very creative and still going to the parks. They're going sledding. People are just looking for a way to get out, whether it's the ice rink or walking downtown. So I think we're going to continue to see that kind of growth. And I know, in speaking with Jamie Furbush, our Convention and Visitors Bureau, the hotels have seen some nice occupancy rates as of late.
One of the measures of tourism in a town like Frankenmuth is motor coach travel. Have you seen a return of the big coaches?
We have. I would say we started late this summer seeing some of the first buses come back, And right now, it's a little bit more obvious because the Chamber of Commerce driveway is where the Christmas tree is. And so we often used to get motor coaches there, and now we're seeing them in other locations. So I definitely would say there's a noticeable uptick.
And for those that don't know it, what's the relationship of the city of Frankenmuth with the township of Frankenmuth?
I would say we get along quite nicely. We actually share the same building. So we don't call it City Hall. We call it the City Township Governmental Center. So the city of Frankenmuth's on the first floor, the township government's on the second. We share the same council chambers. They contract with the city for police protection, and we also provide their water service.
You ever going to annex the township? It sounds like you're running it now.
Well, there's a substantial difference in the level of service. So if you live in Frankenmuth Township, you're not going to have a sidewalk, you're not going to have a curb street, you're not going to have access to sanitary sewer. So the lots are larger. And then in terms of annexation, the city and the township actually have a fascinating agreement where both the planning commissions have mutually adopted what's called an urban limit line. So this dates back, I think, to the 80s, where instead of just kind of annexing in a way that could promote sprawl, both of the communities basically got together and put a box around the city that said these areas seem most reasonable to see future potential growth in areas where utilities are readily available. So there is annexation, but the township is actually involved in the approval process.
It would seem to me, just as an observer driving through Frankenmuth, all of the growth in the recent years has been at the north end. And most of it designed not for tourists, but for residents. Have I read that right?
You have, and actually it's as if you're reading our zoning ordinance. Most of that property on the north end is zoned commercial local. Much on the south end of town is zoned commercial tourist.
You have a distinction then.
Yes.
That's interesting. That really is interesting. And what fascinates me is that development seems to expand farther and farther out. At the other end of the town, once you get past Bronner's, you're out of Frankenmuth. It ends. It's done. And nothing seems to develop at the south end.
So that again follows that urban limit line. And as I understand it, one of the reasons that the urban limit line idea was so attractive is because they wanted Frankenmuth to retain the connection to Germany, where you have these small cities and villages that are basically surrounded by agricultural land. And that's much of what we're trying to accomplish here.
Well, that was easy to do because that describes Frankenmuth, doesn't it? Pretty much does. Even if you didn't have that box, it would still be that way in many ways.
Yes.
Well, listen, I want to thank you first for spending some time with us this morning and give you the last word on Frankenmuth and what's ahead.
Well, from a city perspective, we're in our capital improvement planning process. Nothing, incredibly dramatic, a lot of non-sexy projects, maintenance type things. But our number one goal is that our residents don't really know we're there, that when they turn on the faucet, their water runs, when they flush the toilet, everything's taken away. When they sweep the leaves into the street, they magically disappear. So if we can do that, we're doing a good job.
One other question I should ask too, do you have ARPA funds to spend?
We do. We have $570,000.
Have you determined how you're going to spend it yet?
Not yet, but the final rules from Treasury were just released this week. The summary is 44 pages. So I've started.
Some reads 44.
The actual rules are like 400 pages, so I haven't gotten through those yet. But I feel good that the city waited to encumber those dollars because the rules have changed a little bit and have given us some more flexibility.
Well, Bridget, thanks for spending some time with us this morning. I hope you had a great holiday season, and I hope 2022 is good for Frankenmuth, because what's good for Frankenmuth is good for everybody in the region.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you saying that, and we are proud to be part of the community.
Thanks a lot. Have yourself a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Yep. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bridget Smith, she is the city manager of the city of Frankenmuth, and we hold forth with her regularly here on the Art Lewis Show to keep up with what's happening in a very important community in this region for tourism's sake, for economy, what have you. It's all tied together, if you will. Let me take a moment to talk about my friends at the Thalen Auto Group. For years, you've heard me talk about their outstanding lineup of new cars. But I think I also want to talk about something else about the Thalen Auto dealerships, because as they sell those new cars, they take in lots of pre-owned vehicles. And on top of that, they scour the market to supplant what they already have in their own vehicles. So they take trade-in vehicles, they take vehicles that they purchase that meet their exacting standards, and they put them on the used car lot. As a matter of fact, I'm driving right now one of those. I'm driving a 2018 Volkswagen Atlas. It's as good as new. I mean, it feels like a new car, drives like a new car, and it's one of Thalen's cars. The Thalen Auto Group in Bay City, your one-stop shop for fully inspected used vehicles. Hundreds of vehicles to choose from on Euclid Avenue in Bay City, more selections than almost anywhere else in the Tri-Cities. Also, you can shop certified pre-owned vehicles from Audi, Volkswagen, Subaru, Mazda, Honda, Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Don't spend days going from dealership to dealership to find a good selection. Stop into the Thalen Auto Group on Euclid Avenue and take your time. Look at the various lots with all of the used vehicles. Or go online. Look at the Thalen inventory online. Do it at thinkthalen.com. We will be back with open phones for the remainder of the program right after these notes.
Beat the winter blues and get away from the cold. How far away is up to you. Let Capoco Community Credit Union help you get where you want to go with a vacation loan. See a Capoco Community Credit Union loan officer today and ask how they can help. Whether it's to a tropical island or just any place with palm trees, a vacation is easy with Capoco Community Credit Union. Find out more at capoco.org.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with a Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over, and at Rocket Grab Plus, always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true, and it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Now, a WSGW Morning Team Show memorable moment.
This is our official resignation from adulthood. I have decided I would like to accept the responsibilities of an 8-year-old again. I want to go to McDonald's and think that it's a 4-star restaurant. Better than money, because you can eat them. I want to lie under a big oak tree and run a lemonade stand with my friends. I want to return to a time when life was simple, when all you knew were colors, multiplication tables, nursery rhymes. But that didn't bother you because you didn't know what you didn't know and you really didn't care. I want to think the world is fair, that everyone is honest and good. I want to believe that anything is possible. So, here is my checkbook. Here are my car keys, my credit card bills. Here are my 401k statements. I am officially resigning from adulthood. And if you want to discuss this further, you'll have to catch me first because tag, you're it.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays on WSGW.
Check out the WSGW Sports Broadcast page on WSGW.com. Want to know when and which WSGW station you can hear the Tigers, Red Wings, Michigan football and basketball, Saginaw Spirit hockey, and SVSU football? Click on the Sports Broadcast box on WSGW.com.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Open phones for the remainder of the show till 11 o'clock. 989-752-6111. And, of course, the toll-free number is 866-790-WSGW inside the state of Michigan. Outside, use 989-752-6111. I have to chuckle. Got an email from a listener, Al, who sent a link to this story, but it's cute. The Norwegian military wants retiring folks, I hope you're sitting down for this, folks, to return their underwear, bras, socks, etc. for reuse. You heard it. The Norwegian military. The reason is because COVID-19 apparently has impacted supplies. So, I mean, that really, I just think it's comical. Al tells me that his underclothes just wear out with holes and not good for anything anymore after that. But thanks for the chuckle. We appreciate it. Chris is in Midland. Chris, good morning to you.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, I'm glad you're back. The guys were just saying, day by day that you were sick and, because of your age. And, I was thinking, I was thinking, maybe you could have caught COVID. And then when you came back and said no, oh my God, I was so relieved.
Well, it's not as relieved as I was.
Oh man! Well,
I still have a little of the cold. You can hear it in my voice a little bit, but
yeah.
But it was just a head cold.
I'm glad to hear that that it wasn't the the big C word and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Now you have to be specific when you say that now, because the big C word we used to think was cancer. Now it's COVID.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks. That's all I got.
Hey.
I just wanted to say hi, and I'm glad you're back.
Chris, I appreciate that. Thanks for listening.
All right, sir.
Have a good one. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Paul in Saginaw. Paul, good morning.
Morning, Art.
Morning.
You there?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. You're back in the saddle again. That's good.
Yeah.
In the latest issue of my paper dated January 6th, written by Chris Mannion, page 1, there's an article there. Says, for the first time ever in our nation's 246 years of history, our U.S. Census Bureau reported last month that the net international migration, that is, the difference between the number of people moving into our country minus the number of people leaving our country, is larger than all of our live births for a given year. And that total is 244,000. Secondly,
whoa, just a minute.
Okay.
Because in order to understand what that means, you have to define a couple of things.
Okay.
Is that because migration to this country is up, or is that because the birth rate is down?
The birth rate is down.
You got it.
Okay. Secondly, not waiting for the Supreme Court ruling, the U.S. Census Bureau, for the first time ever in our history, has included aliens as legal aliens in the U.S. Census report, giving all green card holders, dreamers, and assorted other non-citizens the right to vote in our upcoming elections.
That's not happening.
And President Joe Biden can issue an executive order to make it all legal.
Not going to happen.
Now,
they're even, right now, the only one contending that, New York City is trying to do that and give illegals the vote. That isn't going to happen.
well, lastly,
Census Bureau can't do that on their own.
well, trying. And lastly, in 2005, the Bush administration calculated that the total number of illegals living in the United States was around 26 million. So that's a lot of potential voters right there.
I wonder where that number came from, because the number that was always touted was 12 to 13 million.
Well, that this has been kept secret for quite a long
I
time.
see.
And this was recently, the Bush administration in 2005 did these calculations, and they didn't release it until recent. That's what they calculate in 2005 was the actual illegals.
So what you're telling me is in 2005, a president, his administration calculated that, and his administration and subsequent administration didn't release that information. That somehow it was kept secret.
Till recent, not till recent.
Yeah, I'm not sure I buy into that.
The figure you talked about, the 11 or 12 million or 15 million, whatever it was, that was a estimate given.
So what makes this estimate any different? What makes this estimate any different?
Well, the guy who wrote the article investigating reporting and interviewed a lot of people from the Bush administration, and that's what they told him. So
all right.
That's where he got the numbers.
Good enough.
So I thought I'd just throw that out there just to
throw it out.
inform the listeners.
All right. Good enough,
Okay.
Paul. Thanks.
All right.
Bye-bye now.
Okay. Bye-bye.
It does bring up one issue I want to talk about, which I have on my list today, and that is the voting rights thing, and also whether or not to change the filibuster rules to allow for this to happen, and if it'll happen. We'll do that. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will talk about the president in Georgia today to talk about that very thing, removing the filibuster so the Voting Rights Act can move forward.
Have you been considering a virtual education for your child? Bangor Township Virtual Schools offers an alternative learning environment for your child. Since 2015, Bangor Township Virtual School has provided hundreds of students K through 12th grade in the Saginaw Bay area with a high quality and accredited public education. The School of Choice window is open January 7th through January 21st. For more information or enrolling your child, go to bangorschools.org. Bangor Township Virtual Schools, the virtual education experts.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This whole wall needs to be shelving too. This is a focal point in our restaurant.
Leilani's new restaurant will have the largest wine cellar in the city. She needs a robust sommelier with notes of procurement manager.
3 sections for France. I mean, this is the biggest.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Michigan Wolverines football is on WSGW.
Aiden Hutchinson with a tackle for loss. Ball is fumbled. Michigan will take over. McNamara throws. He's got his man Anthony. He can go the distance. Andrew Anthony. He's slicing native. Touchdown, Michigan. Aiden Hutchinson drops down at the 39-yard line. Blake Corum, touchdown Michigan, 67 yards. That's it. In the college football playoff semifinal, Georgia defeats Michigan 34-11.
It was a remarkable season for Michigan football, filled with memorable plays, a victory against Ohio State, a Big Ten championship, and a trip to the college football playoff. We thank our following sponsors for helping us bring you the Maize and Blue this year: Forward Energy, Wolf Files, Ace Hardware in Saginaw, Schaefer and Beer Line, Ram Truck in Frankenmuth, Lingle Equipment Company in Saginaw, Big E Sports Grill, and Medicare Choices of Saginaw. Michigan football returns next fall. Go Blue.
Michigan Wolverines football is played here on WSGW.
All right, I played that promo on purpose because obviously Georgia beat Michigan to get to the championship game last night. And Georgia prevailed over Nick Saban and Alabama. Congratulations to Georgia. Michigan, of course, nothing to be ashamed of this season. They won the Big Ten championship, beat Ohio State, did all the things that Michigan fans had been expecting from Jim Harbaugh all along. So when you put it in perspective, yes, they didn't win the national championship, but they made the Final Four. And they can hold their heads up high. Congratulations to Michigan. All right, so let's go back to this voting rights thing. As you know, 19 states so far have passed in one form or another voting legislation that opponents think is restrictive. Others think adds a solid base to identification. And what's interesting about it is that all the states that have tightened up their voting laws, none of them are as tight as Delaware, where the president's from. But he never mentions that. Never once mentions Delaware's very strict voting laws. But so be it. There is a movement afoot to try and pass a federal voting rights bill, which would literally overshadow the states' rights to hold elections in the way they want to hold them. There is a serious question as to whether it would hold up to a constitutional challenge in the Supreme Court. That would have to be determined. But before they can get there, because it's a non-budget type bill, it can't be put through the reconciliation process, which allows for a simple majority vote as opposed to a filibuster-proof 61. So there is a move afoot, and this is not the first time, and it is not just the Democrats that have done this in the past. There is a move afoot to somehow circumvent the filibuster for this one bill only, or employ the nuclear option. Problem for the Democrats is there are a couple of Democrats whose names now have been synonymous with obstructing certain Democratic moves. Joe Manchin, Kristen Sinema. These two senators are not in favor of changing the rules. So the Democrats have a tough road to hoe. First, in order to get a voting rights bill passed right now, they would have to make it filibuster proof, which isn't going to happen because there's not a single Republican in support of it. So right away, there's 50 against. And if they cannot remove the filibuster as an obstacle, it isn't going to happen. And they've now, Chuck Schumer has set an arbitrary date of Martin Luther King's birthday, the holiday, which is next Monday, I believe, to get something done. I predict the date's going to come, the date's going to go. In the same way that Build Back Better hasn't come to the floor yet, and he said he would bring it to the floor right away. The later it goes into the year, the less and less will get done. Because the eye to the future is on the midterm elections. And for the Democrats, that could spell disaster, getting nothing done. Because one of the reasons they're trying to push all of this through right now is they fear that come the midterms, they will lose control of probably the House and maybe even the Senate. And in the Senate, I mean, they only have to switch one seat. One seat throws the power to the Republicans. The Republicans can pick up one seat and they end up with 51 seats in the Senate. They have control. They only need to pick up something like 5 in the House. And midterms typically favor the party not in power. So the Democrats have a long road to hoe if they're going to get anything done. And I doubt very seriously if we're going to see any super progressive type actions come out of Congress. The squad led by AOC is probably not going to get their way on very many things. But yet, at the same time, here's an interesting headline. Now, I want you to think of this. You know, we talk about the split, the divide in this country, and all of those things. Think of this headline. American society becoming more liberal than 50 years ago, but voting for more Republicans. Did you hear what I just said? American society becoming more liberal than 50 years ago, but voting for more Republicans. According to these polls that were taken, since the 90s, a new study finds that Americans have moved decidedly more liberal. But despite that shift, and this study came out of New York University, even though there may be public sentiment to the liberal side, it's not translating into politics. They vote in a more Republican way, which is quite a contradiction when you think about it. More liberal thinking, but more Republican voters. So does that mean that many people of a liberal bent don't understand they have to go to the polls to get their way, and Republicans do? It's a very interesting contradiction. And maybe it explains the way things are in this country. I read that, sat back and said, well, wait a minute now. How does that make sense? The only way it makes sense to me is if we are becoming more liberal, but not voting, and Republicans are getting out the vote in higher numbers, then it makes sense. But it was a pretty stark headline when you looked at it, you know? You went, that's strange. All right. We're going to take our last break and then come back and close out this hour, but we will have open phones next hour on the Art Lewis Show.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up at one of your 26 area Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every single fill up and earn even more when you make purchases in store. You can regularly save 10, 20, even 30 cents off a gallon, which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and start saving today. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay forward.
This is Matt Crowder live at the Shell station on 41st Street, reporting on the free gas app called Get Upside that's letting people all over the country earn cash back on every gallon of gas they buy. Excuse me, miss. Have you heard of the Get Upside gas app?
Of course. People are earning as much as $300 a year with the Get Upside app. It's so easy. Open the app to see nearby gas stations offering money back, pick the one you want, and get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Get Upside gas app and earn up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder, Radio News Network.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store. 25 cents a gallon cash back when you buy gas. Use promo code TODAY for a 50 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 75 cents a gallon on your next fill up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Get up to 75 cents a gallon cash back on your next fill up when you download the free Get Upside app and use promo code TODAY. Promo code TODAY.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week still on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Wonderburger. You are going to get a $13 gift certificate for only $6.50, half off. Wonderburger is the perfect spot to get burgers on the go, and they grind their own beef daily. They're all CMU football. You can also check them out on Facebook for their daily menu items and their location schedule. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
You can hear about the cultural contributions and concerns of the Hispanic community in the Great Lakes Bay region on one of WSGW's new public affairs program. I'm Larry Rodarte, publisher of Mi Gente magazine, and I'm inviting you to join us for Mi Gente On Air Sunday evenings at 8 p.m.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
how elite universities are scamming all of us.
Can't wait to hear Professor Robbins on this.
Markley, Van Camp, and Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, it's going to do it for this hour. We'll be back with open phones next here on the Art Lewis Show. CBS News next.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
Rodriguez, the number of kids with COVID has almost tripled since the start of December, and parents in Los Angeles are worried about the first day of class after winter break. This mom is keeping her son home today.
So he tested negative December 31st, but then yesterday he started having symptoms, and I did a home test and he tested positive last night.
Children in Chicago return to school tomorrow after teachers and city officials settled their differences over COVID safety. At last count, more than 142,000 people were hospitalized in the U.S. with COVID. Many others are trying to jam into ERs for testing. Dr. Dave SM Health in Wisconsin says that's the last place they should look.
People who go there thinking they're having a medical emergency, like am I having a stroke? Do I think I'm having a heart attack? Right? Those types of things are where we really want our ERs to be appropriately used.
The WHO predicts over half of Europe could be infected in the next 2 months, and the British Prime Minister is facing backlash for breaking his own COVID rules.
Talk about bad optics. A cocktail party for 30 on the lawn outside Boris Johnson's office when Britain was in lockdown and all outdoor gatherings were banned. Outrage from the opposition Labour Party.
I think he should go. I think he's lost the confidence of the British public.
And from some fellow Conservatives
polling, and it's not just the Labour Party that are angry about this.
Johnson's evading questions Scotland Yard may investigate. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London. In this country, President Biden is headed to Atlanta today to push for passage of a voting rights bill that stalled in the Senate. Cliff Albright is with the state's Black Voters Matter Fund.
What we really want to see is that he's got a ironclad deal in place. Anything short of that is really going to be disappointing.
Best jobs these days? CBS's Jim Krasula takes a look at the top 3.
You should have plenty of job security and are in big demand if you're an information security analyst. That's according to U.S. News and
gatekeepers of our digital information. They protect companies and individuals from hackers and cyber attacks.
Antonio Barbera appeared on CBS Mornings. His publication lists nurse practitioner as the second best job in 2022, with the physician's assistant third best.
A couple of police officers in L.A. aren't getting their jobs back, and they can thank their penchant for Pokemon. The California Appeals Court has upheld Louis Lozano and Eric Mitchell's dismissals after they were caught playing Pokemon Go instead of responding to a robbery at the Crenshaw Mall. The Dow is down 250 points. S&P. This is CBS News.
Looking for quality candidates this new year? Look no further than Indeed. Our new video interview tool takes the hassle out of virtual hiring. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Complete your plumbing project right now with help from Menards. Get a new water softener to make sure you have softer skin and cleaner clothes with Water Boss. A compact 40,000 grain Water Boss water softener will eliminate hard water. It saves you money by using less water and less salt too. Reduce chlorine, bad taste, and odor from your water with a Water Boss water softener. Save big money on one right now at Menards.
Big money at Menards.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try? Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep, feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 10 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Ann Williams. COVID-19 case numbers are in, and that includes a record number of hospitalizations.
The state health department is reporting today 44,524 confirmed cases of COVID-19. That averages to about 14,841 confirmed cases per day. 56 COVID-19 deaths reported for the same time period. And adults hospitalized with suspected or confirmed COVID-19 is at 4,901. That's an all-time high for the
Dr. Deanna Lights reporting. K through 5 grade students at Lindsay Elementary School in Bay City will be finding themselves in new classrooms at the start of the next school year. The more than 130 students will be moving to Kolb Elementary, just over 2 miles away, after the district says enrollment numbers took a plunge. Superintendent Dr. Steve Bigelow says the low numbers at the elementary school had been causing scheduling issues for both students and staff.
Lindsay is at a point right now where it's difficult to hold meaningful classes, which
Courses that come in like PE and music, because it's difficult to schedule when you have such a low enrollment and when there's only one option of a teacher per grade level. If there's any issues or differences in learning styles, it makes it very difficult to place a student with a different teacher.
While Linsdale Elementary isn't being sold, Bigelow says it will remain for daycare services after the closure of Forest Early Childhood Center, which was approved for real estate listing this week. WSGW News 7.
Beat the winter blues and get away from the cold. How far away is up to you. Let Capoco Community Credit Union help you get where you want to go with a vacation loan. See a Capoco Community Credit Union loan officer today and ask how they can help. Whether it's to a tropical island or just any place with palm trees, a vacation is easy with Capoco Community Credit Union. Find out more at capoco.org.
GrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palette, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. A man hurt in a crash while working in a construction zone on I-75 last Friday is expected to survive. The crash occurred when a 43-year-old St. Clair Shores man driving a 2007 Cadillac Escalade crashed into a median wall at the M46 interchange to avoid a construction truck. Part of the wall hit the worker, a 50-year-old Deckerville man who was thrown into the southbound lanes. Fellow workers pulled him to safety. The worker's injuries were considered serious but non-life-threatening. He's recovering in a local hospital. If you love the Mackinac Bridge, you can own a piece of it. The Bridge Authority has an auction going on of 5 large pieces of the bridge, according to Executive Director Kim Nowak.
These are the large size that we have right now on the auction site, and they're about 5 feet by 40 feet. So they're very large, very heavy. It would take a special trailer to haul them out of here.
Nowak says they usually sell for $3,000 to $5,000. She says they'll have smaller pieces at auction later this year. Bidding closes on these sections January 19th at govdeals.com. A judge has refused to dismiss a lawsuit against an engineering company in Flint. Veolia North America is accused of not doing enough to stop the flow of lead-contaminated water in 2015. 4 families are suing Veolia. The company did not participate in the recent $626 million settlement with Flint residents that was mostly paid by the state. Federal Judge Judith Levy says Veolia owed residents a legal duty of care when Flint hired it to analyze the city's water quality. Veolia argued that it included corrosion control and recommendations to the city. It says it had a short-term assignment that focused on problems created by a cancer-causing contaminant. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Partial sunshine develops here for today with a high into the mid-20s, while winds out of the southwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. And for tonight, mostly cloudy with temperatures holding rather steady. By Wednesday, a slight chance for snow showers here late, cloudy skies, a high of 37 degrees. Thursday, mostly cloudy and a high around 29. Friday, mostly cloudy, high of 22 degrees. Partial sunshine develops, a high around 19. By Sunday, partial sunshine, a high of 25 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 10 above.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And a good morning to you. Welcome back. Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. This is an open line hour, and you can call in with whatever topic you'd like at 989-752-6111 in Saginaw Bay City. Outside of Saginaw Bay City, 866-790-WSGW. Or you can call the 989 number because most carriers aren't charging long distance and roaming anymore for using a cell phone. So know your carrier and know your responsibilities for calling, but those are the ways you get in touch with us. And we'll do that right up through 11 o'clock this morning here on WSGW. You heard the story that Ann just read about the Mackinac Bridge Authority auctioning off parts of the bridge. Right now, the deck plates that they're offering are huge. Take a special trailer to deliver it to you. They're 40 feet long and something like 6 feet wide or more. So these are big items. Later on in the year, they plan to auction off smaller pieces of the bridge. This is deck plating that they replace regularly. If you've ever driven across the bridge, or if you've ever walked across the bridge at Labor Day, you know that the inside lanes are actually plating that's diamond patterned, and you can see right through it. It's not solid roadway. And they replace a lot of that plating fairly regularly. So if you're really looking for something unique to have in your backyard, you can make a 40-foot table out of one of those deck plates. We have Ken in Thomas Township with us this morning. Ken, good morning. Ken, are you there? There.
I'd love to have one of those in my backyard. We've gone over the bridge many times. My wife is nervous when I'm looking down, looking for freighters when we're pulling our fifth wheel. But, anyway, questions. I was just curious if anybody has had a chemical taste when they made their coffee. We're here in Thomas Township, and every once in a while we get a real chemical taste, and this just drives me crazy.
Well, I'm in Thomas Township, and I can't say that I've had that.
Okay.
So I my answer would be no, but I'm just one of many, so I don't know.
Yeah, and we've had it with different coffee makers too, so I don't know. It just seems like it happens. I thought maybe they were pushing chemical through there, and then had a burst.
I doubt it.
The other question I had was, radio industry determine how many people are listening so that the companies advertising know they are getting good value for their advertising dollars. This would seem to me is different than, say, cable, where they probably can keep some kind of a tab on how many people are listening to various stations. So how do they do that with the radio industry?
It's done by a participating survey. So many people are selected in a market. They get diaries to keep and fill out. And the process is age old. I mean, it's been going on forever. TV does the same thing. When you talk to advertisers, the best way that an advertiser can measure their advertising dollars is by the return on investment, obviously.
Sure.
If they set up an advertising program and at the end of the year they've done well, then their advertising's work for them.
Mm-hmm.
Advertisers are inundated by advertising opportunities, radio among them. And it's an interesting history lesson in business when you think about it, going back to the 80s. We'll just use radio as an example for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
In the mid 80s, prior to, say, 86, there were 7,000 radio stations in the United States. Then came along something called the 80-90 docket, and the FCC put another 3,000 plus radio stations on the air. They issued licenses to communities that they said were underserved. To give you an example of the fallacy of that thought, we hold one of those licenses at WSGW. Our FM license, 100.5 FM, is licensed to Carlton. Carlton was considered to be underserved. Now, the last I looked, Carlton got all the radio stations Saginaw had. When I came to town in 74, there were something like 20 or 22 signals that got in here. And the problem with that, of course, is the advertising pie didn't grow. The advertising pie got now divided up by 3,000 more competitors. And that has happened time and time again. And now you have the advertising pie divided up in social media, you name it. It's that is why you see multiple station ownerships in markets, because the FCC, and I say this quite often, and I'm waiting one of these days, the FCC is going to knock me over the head for it. They fix their mistakes by making the next mistake. Just seems to be one after another. And it has come to the point now where ownership can have so many stations in a market, depending on the market size. And all kinds of things have happened because survival, a standalone almost can't survive anymore. So it's a very, very, very competitive atmosphere. That's the way I'll put it.
Yeah.
All right.
I was always curious how they did it
Yeah.
with the radio particularly.
It's done with ratings.
Very interesting. Well, thanks a lot. Appreciate the info.
No problem, Ken. Have a good one.
And you have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Yep, you too. Bye now.
Mark is in Mount Pleasant. Mark, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
We're all right.
Hey, I'm looking to get your thoughts on the Chicago school situation there. We passed the relief package. We passed the relief package, which gave schools, PPE money and money to get their ventilation systems up to par, and all kinds of money went to the unions. And now, isn't it not extortion that they didn't go back to school and they still have to vote on that negotiation? But if we already gave them money to open up the schools and they refuse to do that, can we not pull all that funding back from that school?
No, I
That's
doubt it.
extortion, is it not? Or
I doubt it. I doubt it, because it was given to the local districts, and the local districts had control. And listen, this is a unique period we live in. I've never seen anything like it, and it has caused situations that we never would have thought would have ever happened. Typically, the only time teachers abandon their teaching was if there was a strike of some kind or another. This is a different period, and to be honest, I'm not sure the mayor of Chicago has done anything to help the situation either. So it's they've made their bed, they have to lie in it in Chicago. They have to figure it out for themselves. Now, I have to tell you, I would prefer it that way, because I want local school districts to be locally controlled. I prefer not to have the federal government telling us how to run our schools. So if I'm going to be consistent, then I have to say, okay, Chicago, you work it out.
Well, as for parents in those schools, I mean, if I had a kid there, I'd just be furious.
Well, then
I would be at a loss.
Then the parents have to hold their school board. They have to hold the members of the school board's feet to the fire. That's up to the parents. They need to be heard. So, I mean, that's what local school control is all about, isn't it? Getting as much input from the local people who use those schools as possible.
Yes. Well, I just see this as an opportunity to never let a crisis go to waste and take advantage of a situation, and it's just horrible. It's just horrible. But,
yeah, it's not the only
there's
place.
nothing
It's not the only
we can
place
do.
it's happening either. It just happens to be one of the biggest. I mean, there are school problems all over the country right now. So I don't know what the answer is other than
Hey, on voter reform,
yeah, go ahead.
on voter reform that's coming up, that they're going to get that back up and going again. The people that say that voter suppression, how do they get elected? These officials that keep saying voter suppression, would it not say that their position is null and void?
Kind of a contradiction, isn't it? Yeah, kind of a contradiction.
It is very well. Yeah.
You might say that.
All right.
Good enough, Mark.
You stay warm out there.
Hey, you too, buddy. Thanks. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye now. That was the phone lines for you. Again, whatever's on your mind through 11 o'clock this morning. Love to chat with you about that or anything else on your mind. And I want to talk a little railroading when I come back. I have a fascination with something I've got to talk to you about. We'll do that after these notes.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up at one of your 26 area Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every single fill up and earn even more when you make purchases in store. You can regularly save 10, 20, even 30 cents off a gallon, which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and start saving today. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug. It's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Exergen would like you to know about an important new study by the FDA. It confirms what the medical community has always known. Non-contact thermometers are not accurate, and they fail to meet FDA requirements for accuracy in labeling. With new strains of COVID on the rise, we can't afford to tolerate rampant false temperature readings from non-contact thermometers. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. You need Exergen thermometers because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open flat. American Airlines shares are getting a boost, though, from its upbeat forecast for the current quarter. American says its revenue is still weaker than the pandemic. Drugstore chain CVS and supermarket company Albertsons both also raised expectations. United Airlines Chief Executive Scott Kirby says about 3,000 of its employees have currently tested positive for COVID-19. Kirby says United is reducing its flight schedule. Meta Platforms, Facebook's parent company, is now delaying its return to offices until March 28th. Airbnb shares are slumping. Analysts at Piper Sandler see Expedia taking business from Airbnb as travelers look for flights and traditional lodging. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny. Invested in you.
Biden's massive spending has expanded America's money supply and taken money out of your pocket. But you can fight back against runaway inflation by moving your IRA or 401k to gold with Birch Gold Group. Birch Gold Group will send you a free info kit on protecting your retirement with gold in a tax-sheltered account when you text the word SHELTER to 989898. Text SHELTER to 989898. There's nothing to buy and no obligation at all, so do it now.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeart. Never have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. 7365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
WSW Online Poll is about your source for news. Poll at the end of the 2021 year was indicating a downturn in ratings for news organizations from the previous year. Some say those numbers were skewed because of COVID arriving in 2020 and it was a presidential election year. But there is still an appetite for news. We want to know how you feed your hunger for news. The poll question is asking about your main source for news. We offer the options of radio, regular broadcast TV, cable or satellite TV, online, social media, just talking with family and friends, or are you resourceful enough that you are seeking all of the above for your news and information? Let's see where this one guides us and find out how people's happen. We want to know what you think when you vote at WSW.com. You scroll down the homepage, find the poll box, and you can vote.
The Morning Team Show, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
All right, back with you. Art Lewis Show here on WSGW, and Scott's in Saginaw. Scott, good morning.
Hey, Art, how you doing?
All right.
All right, I just want to say a few things once again about the Democratic Party here. A little while ago, and my source is Joe Biden, he said we cannot force a mandate down people's throats.
Yeah.
So now we find that the mandate is actually in the Supreme Court, and we're waiting for a ruling. Meanwhile, that same Supreme Court handed down a ruling to the Biden administration that said you must follow the law at Remain in Mexico. Well, the Biden administration said, well, we don't want to follow that law, but we want you to force Americans to take the vaccine. Meanwhile, you have the Democrats who say we don't have enough elected officials, so we need to change the law so we can pass what we want to pass.
Let's break this down a little bit. Let me break this down a little bit because, first of all, they did end up doing the stay in Mexico until you're hearing thing. They had to. So that, we still have people coming across the border. Don't get me wrong. And I understand that. But for the most part, those seeking asylum have to remain in Mexico. The rest of it, though, there's so many contradictions. You could spend all day pointing them out. Listen, we've said this before. You know it to be true. Time is coming. And, I don't know if you heard me earlier. I read the headline where more and more Americans are saying they're moving toward the liberal side, yet they vote Republican. What a contradiction. It's a great contradiction, but what a contradiction. And I think in the midterms, we're going to see it.
Yeah, well, I got one more question for you here. A while ago, a Michigander, I guess, called the unemployment agency, threatened people, said he's going to kill him or whatever because he wasn't getting his unemployment. He ended up going to prison. My question is, did he actually ever get his unemployment?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if he deserved it. So I don't know. I don't know the answer.
I'm just kind of, because people in prison were getting stimulus and everything else.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Question is one of those conundrums.
That's a real conundrum. I have no idea. All right, Scott, have a good one, brother.
Have a good one.
Take care. Bye-bye now. All right, I mentioned I wanted to talk about this just a little bit. I am an unabashed rail fan. I have been all my life. And the reason was this is kind of a throwback to my childhood because we lived in New York City. My mother was from Kansas City. And every year, at least twice a year, my father would send us out to Kansas City to visit relatives. And we'd always do it by train. And we always had a bedroom on the train. And we rode all the name trains. We rode the 20th Century Limited, the Spirit of St. Louis, the Pennsylvania Limited. We were the national train. on the Baltimore and Ohio out of Washington. He routed us all over the place. We never went the same way twice. And I fell in love with traveling by train. And I have followed trains. I was a model railroader for a long, long time. And I have been following in the last several years the restoration of locomotive 4014. If those of you don't know what it is, probably most of you don't, I'll tell you. The Union Pacific Railroad has what's called a heritage division. And that division is responsible for maintaining and restoring Union Pacific heritage equipment, including a whole fleet of passenger cars that they have that are beautiful, and locomotives that they use, including a steam locomotive, the 8444. Well, a number of years ago, I think it was 2016, if I'm not mistaken, could have been 15, I'm not positive. They decided they wanted to restore one of the remaining big boy locomotives. The big boy locomotives are the largest steam locomotive ever built. They're 4884 configurations. That is, they have 4-wheel leading trucks, 8-wheel driving trucks, another set of 8-wheel driving trucks, and 4-wheel trailing trucks. It's actually 2 steam locomotives in one. They're huge, big locomotives. So they went looking for an ideal candidate. There were only 20 some of these ever built to start with. Production ended in the 40s, late 40s. And of that, there's probably something like 8 or thereabouts remaining in museums and institutions. And they went looking for the best candidate to restore. And they found it in California in a roadside park. And there was a lot of video done on how they laid track to get it out of the park, how they had to tow it out, tow it up to Cheyenne, Wyoming, where the shops are. And 2.5 years later, and millions of dollars, they have restored this 4014 big boy locomotive. And since 2019, it has been on tour of the Union Pacific system all over the country. It is amazing to see this thing. It was designed for freight operation in certain parts of Wyoming to get large freight trains up big grades. And that's pretty much where they were used. That was pretty much their territory. They've taken this one all over the country, and wherever it goes, huge crowds turn out. And I am fascinated by these things. You can find it if you go to YouTube and put in 4014, 4014, or 4014 Big Boy. You will get tons of YouTube videos on this locomotive. And you'll also find a couple of videos of a guy named Ed Dickens, I think his name is. He's the senior manager of heritage operations for Union Pacific. One of 9 guys that restored this locomotive. 9 people restored this entire locomotive. Took him 2.5 years. But he walks you through some of the restoration and some of the changes that were made. It's a fascinating look at history. I love to see this kind of thing happen because it is a great teaching tool of the history of this country built around railroads. What would this nation have been without railroads? It connected everything. It connected the farmlands. It connected the ranches. It connected the industries. Railroading has been, the backbone of this country for a long, long time. I was glad to see in the infrastructure package that we now recognize it and that it's getting some money to upgrade itself. Think about our rail passenger transportation in this country compared to other countries in the world where they don't fly as many airplanes. People get on trains, high-speed trains, some of them that can do 180, 200 and plus miles an hour. We are so far behind in that technology. So I just wanted to take a moment to talk about it for a minute. Get your feeling on railroad. Should we spend money on rails? I think we should. I think we should modernize ourselves on the rail system and become less dependent on air transportation. I think it's more fuel efficient. You can actually, for example, to show you how well it works in some places, in the Northeast Corridor, if I told you to stand at a certain point in Washington, D.C., and I will take the train to New York City and you will fly to New York City, and I will meet you at Times Square at a certain time. If I take the train, I'm going to be there long before you are. I'll simply go over to Union Station, get on the Acela Express, the next one out. I'll be in New York in no time, and I'll be standing around Times Square waiting for you, who had to drive to the airport, get there at least an hour ahead of time, wait for your flight, fly to New York, figure out how to get out of the airport, take your taxi or whatever into New York. I will be there before you. And that's how rail should work, and high-speed rail. But this country is way behind in it. So just it was on my mind. I just thought I'd bring it up. But if you have a chance, go to YouTube and look up 4014. You'll be impressed by the size of this locomotive. We'll take a break, and then we'll be back. The lines are open for you, whatever's on your mind.
As a Blue Cross Medicare member, managing your medications from home is simple. With our easy-to-use prescription drug plans, you can get the medicine your doctor prescribes from your local pharmacy or even delivered by mail. For the trusted care you need and want, Blue Cross will be here with more convenient ways of getting it. Like we've been for more than 80 years. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. Confidence comes with every card. To learn more, visit bcbsm.com/senior options.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the harder. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Research shows that people remember radio ads with lots of sound effects. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here are some zany sounds. Saving on home insurance is no laughing matter. Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay. You save could change your life. It's time for you to take your insurance choice seriously. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, Carrie, we need that tax report by tomorrow. Hey, Bobby, give me that expenses.
For Hari's accounting firm, client growth is exponential.
I know we're a couple of accountants short.
He needs whip-smart accountants at whiplash speed.
Hey, so why aren't these receivables matching up?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75. Terms and conditions apply.
Now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
The WSGW Morning Team Show.
I just saw. Oh, this is great. This is coming out of Quebec. Apparently last Thursday, the Canadian province announced new rules on Thursday requiring vaccine passports for anyone wishing to buy alcohol and marijuana.
Oh.
Before Thursday, the average daily number of first dose appointments were 1,500. Last Friday, 6,000.
All right.
And if you didn't see that coming,
take note, Washington.
Yes, it does work. Incentives work.
Oh, that's great.
Love it.
The Morning Team, weekdays 5:30 to 9 on WSGW. WSGW. Your source for local news and information in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you. Let's head back to the phones. Tom is in Essexville. Tom, good morning to you, sir.
Hello, Mr. I just want to call in to say you've been at this. You mentioned earlier that you've been there since 1974.
Yep.
Wow, I remember before the station before you were. I'm 57 years old. I remember before you were there, and now since you've been there, and it's been much better since you've been working there, sir.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, it's different too, though. You know, it's different because in '74 it was still a music station that had some talk. After 1978, more and more talk came along till now we're all talk and news. So it's actually transformed over the years, and it's a kind of a different animal now, but still proud to serve the community. Let's put it that way.
And I just love you. You just do a great job. Do the other guys love you too? I'm sure they do. Don't they?
We love each other. We respect each other's work because they're all very, very talented people.
And did they ever say they love you on the air or anything? Or I never heard them.
No. And that's fine. That's fine.
I love you, Art.
Oh, thank you, Pat. There we go. Pat says he does.
That's good.
I love Pat too.
Guy.
You listen, I have to tell you something funny about Pat. My wife is in love with Pat. She wants to meet Pat in the worst way in the world. I've refrained from letting that happen, but I'm going to have to do it one of these days. I told Pat, don't be surprised one of these days if I just call up and say we're going to be knocking on your door. Because my wife really likes Pat. So there we are. Listen, Tom, I appreciate it, friend. Thanks for listening all these years. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And just keep on going. I love you. And I'm not the only, you know.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate it. Thanks for calling.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye now. And Pat says, somebody said sometimes they love me. All right. Greg is on the road somewhere near Lapeer. Greg, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
I just wanted to touch base on General Motors a little bit.
Sure. Okay.
What they are doing with some of their retirees. You remember when they got to declare bankruptcy
Oh, yeah.
years ago? Well, at one time we had 26 unions within General Motors. And they were called splinter unions, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when they declared bankruptcy, you know, the UAW got a big health care package and yada, yada, yada. Well, the splinter unions were told, this is what you get. Take it or leave it, which was basically nothing. You know, it's comparable to what the salary employees, when they shafted the salary employees over years ago.
Let me ask a question, Greg, because I'm not an insider to General Motors and I don't know all these things. When you say splinter unions, were they divisions of the UAW or were they separate unions altogether? And what did they cover?
They were separate unions altogether. Like, you know, we had the Pattern Makers League and the International Association of Machinists. We had the die sinkers. We had the hardeners.
All right, let me ask a question, but weren't all those folks also represented by the UAW, or were they not?
No.
Oh. Okay. See, that's the part I didn't understand. I thought the UAW was a blanket organization for everybody that worked at the auto industry.
No, a lot of people don't know this. Well, anyway, when they really stuck it to us on our health care. That's like starting this month, I am paying more for health insurance through General Motors because they said this is what you get than I am taking home from my pension. And I mean, it's, you know, when they when they make $13 billion, I mean, you would think they would go back and revisit this and say, you know, throw a little bit, throw a bone to our retirees, but no, they're just a number. We're getting rid of them.
Yeah.
You know, they're all going to be Social Security age, and you know, so the heck with it.
That's my next question to you. Let me ask a question. I don't know how old you are, but if you are old enough, would you be better off going on Medicare?
Well, I'm not old enough.
Ah. So you're stuck with it for a while.
Yes. So this is what General Motors is doing to some of their retirees. I mean, people are not aware of this. You know, everybody, you know, back in the day, everybody says, oh, you work for GM. You got it made. Well, I put in 32 disabling years.
Yeah.
And, you know, and now they treat you like this, you know, because the federal government let them declare bankruptcy and says, okay, you can get rid of all your legacy costs, and this is the way it is.
Yeah, we remember all that. That was very much in the news, no doubt about it. But I didn't understand the splinter union things. I didn't know they were there.
Yes, they were not represented by the UAW.
Wow. Well, I wish you well.
Well, I'm just saying, when people think about going out and spending these $85,000 for a new GM truck, maybe they ought to look at, because this is what they're doing with their retirees.
Yeah.
They don't care. We're just numbers. Just like when you work, everybody says, oh, you got a great job, yada, yada. You were just a number in there. We deferred cost of living year after year after year after year towards healthcare costs.
Mm-hmm.
But do we see any of that now? No, sir. They took it all, pocketed it all, and here's what we got.
Yeah. Well, I feel for you. Don't know what else to tell you, but glad for the information.
You know, it just you know, $13 billion. You know, even when they declared bankruptcy, they had $300-some million.
Yeah, and then lots of federal money. We all remember that.
Yeah. Then the federal government let them do it.
Yep. All right.
I mean, Ford didn't do it.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Ford was the only one that didn't do it.
I know.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling.
When you buying GM, think about it again, please.
All right. Drive carefully.
Oh, Toyota.
Take care. Bye-bye now. All right. We'll take a break and be back with a little bit more. Still time to call in.
Planning your home improvement projects for 2022? Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning has been helping their Great Lakes Bay region clients for 64 years with large projects like remodeling a kitchen or bathroom, replacing a furnace or boiler, and installing central air. Maybe your project is smaller, like a water heater or sump pump replacement, updating a kitchen faucet and garbage disposal. No project is too big or too small. Start by visiting the showroom, where you will find products to fit your budget, design idea, and mechanical need. Reamer is proud to carry American-made products like Bradford white water heaters, equipment, Birch custom cabinets, and Cambria quartz. When you work with Reamer, you'll get expert knowledge and advice. Installation is completed by state licensed installers. So start your new year home improvement project with a visit to Reamer Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. Call 989-792-8738 or visit reamerplumbing.com.
Do you check your Google search results regularly? You should. People often get their first impression of you or your business online. Negative comments on the internet can impact your life and your livelihood. Take control of your online reputation. Get your free reputation report card at Reputation. It may reveal negative posts from an ex-employee, upset patient or client, news article, legal issue, or even exposed personal information right there in your Google search results. Uncover what's lurking on the internet about you with ReputationDefender.com's patented scan and get your free reputation report card. Or for immediate assistance with your reputation, call 800-401-6681. Our cutting-edge technology helps make your Google search results look their best. Call 800-401-6681. That's 800-401-6681. 800-401-6681. Or take the free scan at .com.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, Navage.
On the next Markley Van Camp and Robbins show,
how elite universities are scamming all of us.
Can't wait to hear Professor Robbins on this.
Robbins, weekdays at noon on 100.5 and 790. News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. I had a caller ask if the big train, that's the big boy steam locomotive, went through Toledo. No, it didn't come that far east. Others have gone by. I'm not sure which ones, but there have been other steam engines. Sidra is in Bay City. Sidra, good morning.
Good morning. I'd like to beautiful big boy on the bluff at Lauritsen Gardens in Omaha.
Oh,
it is gorgeous. We climbed the stairs, and it's a long ways up just to get to it. And in addition to the big boy, the Centennial engine is also there.
Yep.
But the big boy there is an articulated engine because of the curves it had to manipulate.
All
a long train.
Yeah, all
the big engines.
All the big boys are articulated.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, they're all the big boys are the 4884 class of locomotive. All the big boys are exactly the same.
They are.
Yep.
Yep.
And the one they restored that is running now, the 4014, I think went through Omaha within the past couple of years.
Oh, really? Yeah, we're here in Bay City, of course.
Yeah.
My brother lives in Omaha. So we were out visiting him when we learned that the big boy was finally on the bluff, was finally open. We knew that they were planning to get it up there. We weren't there when they did that. I can only imagine what they had to do to get that big engine up that high.
I can't imagine.
We were driving from Omaha to Council Bluffs, my brother, and we were just tripping around. And Stu said to me, "Look back." And I cried. It was so beautiful because it was lit.
Oh, wow.
Dark night, and it was amazing.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So if anybody can't see it in motion, they can see it in person.
Yeah, I think there are, if I'm not mistaken, I want to say 8 that have survived, but it could be 1 or 2 more. They're all in museums except for the 4014, which Union Pacific restored. They're all in museums or, in parks like the Bluff you're talking about.
This one was a museum engine. I forget where they got it from.
Oh, they got it from Union Pacific.
Oh, absolutely.
They owned them all.
Yeah. Well, see, and the thing a lot of people don't realize is that the Union Pacific Railroad started at Omaha and went west because they had a hard time getting the big trains across the Missouri River. That river does not have a stable bottom, and engineering expertise reached its level that it did. The Union Pacific had to start at Omaha and go west, and the other rail lines were eastern rail lines that didn't cross the river.
Yep.
So,
well, the Union Pacific, the big boy on display in Omaha is numbered 4023, according to what I'm seeing here.
Okay, you're further along than I.
So I just looked it up. That's all.
I'm going to have to try that too. Do you see it there on the bluff?
I didn't see it on the. I see a picture of the locomotive, but it doesn't show the bluff, so I can't picture that. I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, it is. It is magnificent, but it is a climb to get up there.
Yep.
So I think it's 2 or 3 levels of stairs.
Wow. Worth it to see it, though. They're fabulous.
Absolutely.
All right, I've got
the gardens themselves and the center,
Yep.
welcoming center, are gorgeous.
Sidra, I've got to run for time here, Sidra, but I appreciate the call. Thanks for the memories.
Okay, enjoy it, and I hope people do take time to
Yep,
see the big boys
great.
somewhere.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now. That's Sidra, and we will take our last break and come back and close out.
Have you been considering a virtual education for your child? Bangor Township Virtual Schools offers an alternative learning environment for your child. Since 2015, Bangor Township Virtual School has provided hundreds of students K through 12th grade in the Saginaw Bay area with a high quality and accredited public education. The School of Choice window is open January 7th through January 21st. For more information or enrolling your child, go to bangorschools.org. Bangor Township Virtual Schools, the virtual education experts.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for Wonderburger. You are going to get a 13, only $6.50, half off. Wonderburger is the perfect spot to get burgers on the go, and they grind their own beef daily. They're also the official burger of CMU football. You can also check them out on Facebook for their daily menu items and their location schedule. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Biden's massively irresponsible spending plan has expanded America's money supply and taken money out of your pocket. But you can fight back and stand your ground against the tidal wave of inflation they're imposing on you. Did you know the wealthiest people in the world are protecting their retirement for investing in gold? You can too. You can move your IRA or 401k out of paper assets and into gold with Birch Gold Group. To spread the word, Birch Gold has created a free info kit on gold IRAs. To get your copy, just text SHELTER to 989898. Do it now and learn how to shelter your IRA or 401k with gold in a tax-sheltered account. Again, text the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold. There's nothing to buy and no obligation. Do it now.
Now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. We'll be back with Focus. We're going to focus on Rocket Grab Plus today, tell you about some of the great deals that are out there for you. And that will happen right after the news, top of the hour, CBS, and then the local report. I'll be back to talk to you on Focus after these notes.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by the Exergen Temporal Scanner.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking?
But the American people deserve accountability and transparency.
Republican Senator Richard Burr, as the Senate Health Committee hearing got underway, faulting the Biden administration for the response to the pandemic. Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the head of the Centers for Disease Control, heard him.
As we continue to monitor this rapidly evolving virus, we are working quickly to adapt with it.
And as she reiterated updated guidance on isolation and quarantining, she warned,
Omicron is likely not to be the last curveball this virus throws at us.
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, Washington.
President Biden takes his push for passage of voting rights legislation to Atlanta. CBS's Ed O'Keefe is covering.
In his speech, Mr. Biden will vow to defend your right to vote and our democracy, and will put pressure on the Senate to act. The voting rights legislation can't survive a filibuster vote. That means any debate over voting rights is first going to be about potentially changing Senate rules. The White House generate support for changing the rules by allowing bills to pass with a simple majority.
The coldest air of the season has invaded the upper Midwest and Northeast. Temperatures below zero in the single digits and teens. This girl's bundled up in New York City where there's a biting wind chill.
Wear gloves, wear a hat, wear lots of socks.
Schools in Boston and other Northeast cities canceled classes because of the cold. In South America, a desperate effort to fight a fire that tore through a poor community in Iquique in northern Chile. About 100 homes destroyed. A just-released study says opioid deaths among older Americans shot up 1,900% from 1999 to 2019. Northwestern University researcher Lori Ann Post.
Older adults are less likely to be screened by their doctors for opioid use disorder or any kind of substance misuse. And they're this invisible population and they need help and they need their
National Law Enforcement Memorial Fund says 2021 was the deadliest year for police officers in history. Deaths up 55% over 2020. COVID-19, the leading cause of death. New forecast on jobs for 2020. The top one on a list is information security analyst.
We look at what we think job seekers look for most in a new job, and that's median salary, that's unemployment rate, that's the stress level, work-life balance, and whether or not the job is going to grow.
Antonio Barbera of U.S. News and World Report. The Dow is down 170. This is CBS News.
If you're checking for fever, the leading sign of COVID-19, beware of dangerously inaccurate non-contact thermometers. Instead, learn about Exogen at Exogen.com.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do. I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. Have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms? It might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just a click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. The days of paying full price are over. And at RocketGrabPlus.com, we are here always giving you the deals that you need. You can get tons of half-off deals going on right now from Uplift Creative Center, Joyce's Purple Palettes, Woody's Hot Dogs, King's Fish and More, and the Hamptons Boutique Tanning and Salon. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW.
It's 8 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. With the increase in COVID-19 cases, the Bay City Commission is urging state leadership to support legislation to amend the Open Meetings Act to temporarily allow for remote public meetings for local jurisdictions. The commission says the amendment would allow for remote meetings due to any circumstance without the declaration of a local state of emergency or state of disaster. The commission says the CDC's risk level metrics show Bay County is at a level high risk when it comes to weekly cases and test positivity. The 7-day positive test increased from 14.4% on December 27th to 31.6% on January 9th. The commission says remote meetings would give citizens a safe and accessible way to interact with elected leaders. The board's statement said they hope the action is taken immediately. Michigan hospitals are reporting a record number of COVID-19 patients, surpassing the peak from nearly a month ago before already high infection counts surged to new heights due to the more contagious Omicron variant. Roughly 4,900 people were hospitalized with confirmed or suspected cases of the virus Monday, including 4,580 adults. The previous high for adults with a confirmed infection was 4,518 December 13th, before a 2-week decline and then an increase that started after Christmas. The state updated its isolation and quarantine guidance to reflect shorter guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. WSTW News Time is 11:07.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief. Finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
WSTW News Time is 11:08. Bridgeport High School remains open after police determined a social media threat against the school yesterday was not credible. The threat was found on the social media site Snapchat by students and parents and was quickly reported to school officials, who reported it to police. Police investigated the school grounds but found no threat. The investigation into who may have made the threat is ongoing. State police have arrested a man in connection to a murder that took place in Saginaw 6 years ago. Troopers arrested a 25-year-old suspect Saturday who's awaiting arraignment. Dakota Rico of Midland. Rico was discovered shot to death September 2nd, 2015, in a pickup truck in the area of Douglas and Human Streets. The suspect's name will be released after his arraignment. Governor Gretchen Whitmer's approval rating is up to 56% in a new poll by the Detroit News and WDIV. Founder of the Glenn Gariff Group, which conducted the poll, Richard Zuba, says independent voters have had a big shift.
We started to see this movement amongst independents, but then it accelerated in December. And that is when she was talking about the $400 per vehicle. And she actually, a group went up on the air with an ad with her talking about it. I think that's had an enormous influence in shifting those numbers over the course of the last month and a half.
Of possible Republican opponents, Whitmer leads former Detroit Police Chief James Craig 49 to 39%, chiropractor Garrett Soldano 50 to 33%, and businessman Kevin Rinke 50 to 33%. Hemlock Semiconductor Operations, the country's largest manufacturer of hyper-pure polysilicon used in solar, was named Jason Griffin its State Government Affairs and Policy Director. Griffin comes to HSC from his position as Regional Manager, Government and Public Affairs for Lafarge Holcomb, a world leader in the building materials industry with operations in 70 countries. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Partial sunshine develops here for today with a high into the mid-20s, while winds out of the southwest around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. And for tonight, mostly cloudy, with temperatures holding rather steady. By Wednesday, a slight chance for snow showers here late, cloudy skies, a high of 37 degrees. Thursday, mostly cloudy and a high around 29. Friday, mostly cloudy, high of 22 degrees. Partial sunshine develops, a high around 19. By Sunday, partial sunshine, a high of 25 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Vuchitsky with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 14.
Now, It's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
Well, good morning and welcome. Welcome to another edition of Focus. I'm Art Lewis from my Saginaw Spirit Home studio, brought to you by Roof Max, the safe, proven, and affordable alternative to expensive asphalt shingle roof replacement. Find out about Roof Max online at roofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. Roof Max. And remember, Roof Max is spelled with 2 X's. We're going to spend a little time on Focus today, bringing you up to date on rocketgrabplus.com, where you need to register. You go to rocketgrabplus.com and sign up. It costs you absolutely nothing. And then every week you'll be notified of the deals that are on Rocket Grab Plus. You decide if you want the deals or not. It's a safe, proven method. You download the gift certificates that you buy. And it's that simple. It's contactless. And let me give you an idea of what's on Rocket Grab Plus. Our current deal is a $13 gift certificate for only $6.50 to Wonder Burger. Burgers on the go. You check their truck out. It's more than just a place to grab lunch. It's a place to try a great local burger. They grind the beef daily in their truck to ensure only the best quality for you. They have great food locations all over the area and surrounding areas, and you can follow them on social media. Burgers on the go. They grind their own daily. Official burger of CMU football. I'll be in a spot near you. Check out their Facebook locations. And you check them out, and you have a gift certificate that's worth $13 for only $6.50, which is typical. You save half price. I mean, that's basically what it is. You save half price. Here's another one in that area. A $17 gift certificate for only $8.50 to Num Num Ninja, specializing in parties and events and catering. And you can find them at hibachiraps@gmail.com. Again, a $17 gift certificate for $8.50. Locally owned and operated. They take a spin on a traditional steakhouse hibachi. Their hibachi is served with homemade yum yum sauce inside a flour tortilla. So it's easy to handle for concerts, parties, corporate lunches, anything else you want. Follow them on Facebook too. Num Num Ninja. $17 gift certificate for only $8.50. Big savings. Now, you want to stay fit for the year. Here is a 1-year membership to 120 Fitness in Saginaw. It's a $318 value for only $159, a year-long membership to 120 Fitness. With this deal, you get a chance to check out Old Town Saginaw's only gym. You can set up your membership once you get your certificate. They're located at 118 South Hamilton, and they offer you vision fitness and Tandis cardio equipment, body solid dumbbells, a variety of strength training equipment, on-site personal trainer, fitness classes, lockers, changing rooms. They've got it all. And they also offer a stretching and abdominal area where you'll find medicine balls and all kinds of other equipment to allow you to do that. Again, this is a whole year membership, $318 value, only $159. You save half price, which is always nice to save half price on anything. Lots more to talk about. We'll do that when we return.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown. What could be sweeter than that?
Now an important message from Exergen. A critical new FDA study proves that the widely used non-contact thermometers are not accurate and have high probabilities for false negative readings. New COVID strands are on the rise, and non-contact manufacturers are being irresponsible at a time when accuracy matters most. Accurate temperature measurements are essential. Don't wait. Switch to Exergen because they are accurate and backed by over 100 clinical studies. Be sure, be accurate with Exergen. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your days. It's a new job.
We're growing fast, and I stopped working weekends, thanks to how much smoother everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Shh, watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 27,000 businesses already use NetSuite for the new financing program for those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/books. Head to netsuite.com/books for this special one-of-a-kind financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/books.
Though many people are doing okay today, there are still many people experiencing difficulties in the community. Here is a reminder for you of a free community resource you are encouraged to use if you find yourself needing extra support. 211 is a public service number for all non-emergency needs. You can call it anytime, any day, and an agent will connect you with whatever it is you're looking for: food, financial assistance, house transportation. All you need to do is dial 211 or text your zip code to 898-211 to get connected. Looking for a COVID testing location? Need help paying your bills? Is food in short supply for your family? Dial 211 to talk to a compassionate, highly trained agent who is ready to connect you with local resources. It is a free and confidential service to help you overcome obstacles of all sizes. This message is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation, because it takes a village for good forever.
In behind the goal, wraparound try by Stahl. Now a shot by Bertuzzi. He scores! From the left circle, makes it 2-1 Detroit.
The Red Wings play 10:15 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you here on Focus. We are focusing on RocketGrabPlus.com and some of the great deals that are available for you. By the way, I mentioned the year-long membership to 120 Fitness in Saginaw. There is also on Rocket Grab Plus, if you'd just like to try it, a 1-month membership. It's a $32 value for only $16, and you can do all the things you could do there. Find out if you like it. Then you can come back and buy the annual membership and save yourself money that way, too. So that is the 120 Fitness Club deal on RocketGrabPlus.com. There is a company called One Up Games and Repairs. They're offering a $25 gift certificate for $12.50. and that's good toward retail merchandise and repairs of One Up Games and Repairs. It's a veteran-owned company that offers and buys and sells and trades and repairs video games, consoles, cell phones, arcade games, and more. 2 locations, one in Saginaw, one in Bay City. They offer a wide variety of products, such as new and used video games, video consoles, accessories, board games, and movies. They also repair tablets, game systems, cell phones, computers, and more. And this certificate's good till next December 2022. Again, it's a $25 gift certificate for only $12.50. Let's talk about beautifying you. Here is a Salon Blue cut and brow wax, $63 value for only $31.50. You book an appointment with this deal today, and you can ask for Owen, Emily, Courtney W., or Kayla when scheduling. Salon Blue is a full-service salon, spa, and boutique, and you'll leave happy and feeling anew. And they have a talented and well-trained staff. So think about Salon Blue in Mount Pleasant. It's a cut and brow wax, $63 value, only $31.50. Good deal. Hamptons Versa Spa Spray Tan. This is a $35 value to get a spray tan, but you only pay $17.50. And the Versa Spa difference, you control your color from a glow to a deep dark tan. It's long lasting, it's hydrating and firming ingredients for a longer lasting tan. No odor and no orange. Only premium eco-certified skin gel balancing ingredients. Again, $35 value. You're only paying $17.50. Here is a party package from Uplift. $50 for a $100 value for 4 people, including 2 adults and 2 youth, for a tie-dye session at Uplift Creative Center in Midland or in Bay City. And again, it's a $100 value, and it only costs you $50. Uplift Creative Center is a place where you can come in and be creative in lots of different ways. You learn how to tie-dye, acrylic and resin painting, parties, soap making, crochet, knitting, and so much more, all available to you. A $100 certificate for this 4-person tie-dye party for only $50. Good deal. Back to Hampton's infrared sauna. $15 value, only $7.50. And Hampton's KBL Level 6 Tanner, a $33 value for only $16.50. And finally, Hampton's Boutique, a $20 gift certificate for only $10. So there are a couple of things for you. We'll end up with a couple of food items here. Well, let me get this one in first. $25 gift certificate for only $12.50 to Joyce's Purple Palette. And if you buy 2 of these certificates, you get an extra free gift from Joyce. A variety of different classes on site where you learn how to decorate your own cornhole boards, planters, benches, signs, and more. $25 gift certificate for only $12.50. Finally, King's Fish and More gift certificate. It's a $20 certificate for only $10. And they're open Tuesdays through Sundays, 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, 12 to 7, Thursdays through Saturday, 12 to 10. And chef-prepared food at low economical prices. Again, $20 value for only $10. Finally, Woody's Hot Dogs 4 hot dogs from Woody's Hot Dogs in Saginaw. $10 value, only $5. It's all on rocketgrabplus.com. Sign up today, get notification of the deals, and then at your leisure, scan the deals and decide which ones you want to buy. And if you don't want to buy any, that's fine too. Wait till the next ones come along. And that'll do it for Focus on this edition. And we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll move over to the Farm Show.
Have you been considering a virtual education for your child? Bangor Township alternative learning environment for your child. Since 2000.